Hello again, I'm Ruffled Bricks. Welcome to the second instalment of my Manic Miner speedrunning tutorial. In this part we're going to cover caverns 5, 6 and 7, which is where we start to uncover some of the meatier speedrun strats in the game. In particular we'll be having a deep dive into the lair of the bespectacled cue ball Eugene, with his very poorly hidden stacks of credit cards and his faithful toilets. One for daytime, one for nighttime. Or possibly one for solids, one for liquids. Who knows how his mind or body works. We'll also be taking on some very much non-copyright infringing enemies. Note to developers, if you give them pistons for legs, that makes them a different character. And we'll be wading through a container of strawberry jam guarded by kangaroos. Also, remember how I said in part 1 that these strategies were all temporary until I find new and better ones? Well, whilst I was editing this tutorial, I found an even quicker route for Eugene's lair than the one I originally recorded. So I've had to cover that as part of a later stream and parachute that footage into this one. I'm sure it'll be seamless, don't worry, but it has made the section on Eugene pretty darn long. However, it also contains discussion of conveyor belt manipulation and our first turning quintuple jump of the run, so hopefully it'll all be useful. Alright folks, let's get looting. Here's Eugene's lair. Now this is the probably the first really tough level in the game. The reason this is a tricky one, so again it's a level where you have to get moving pretty quickly because that the daytime toilet will get you if you stick around in your position for too long. I'm going to go over here, jump across, jump over the weed and grab the first item. And I'm now going to show you the first conveyor belt trick in this game. This trick basically involves holding position on a conveyor belt so you stand on there in one position, right? This conveyor belt is going left, so once you fall on that it will push you to the left. However, if you drop onto this conveyor belt whilst holding right, as I'm going to do now, that actually means, as you can see, you are now standing in position on that conveyor belt. This is a good trick to learn because I use this for my timing for getting past Eugene at this first part here. So let's start the level again. Over the toilet, over Eugene, over the plants. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to hold position on this conveyor belt, and then when Eugene gets about, I'd say about 3 pixels from the top of his cycle, which is at the ceiling of the cavern, I'm going to let go of the conveyor belt. There we go. And then we jump over the weed and jump over Eugene like that. And as you can see, if the jump is done correctly, then your feet will kind of almost run up the side of Eugene's head as if it's a staircase or something. You are then able to jump straight over the nighttime toilet like that. Now our next port of call is this item here. With this item down here, for the safe strat, we're going to do a quintuple turning jump, in which the second and fourth jumps of the sequence will involve you turning the other way. So when you jump it, you fall down onto here and then you jump right. For your second jump, as you're holding the jump button, hold left, and hold left for the third jump as well. And then when you get back across, hold right for the fourth and fifth jumps. So watch this. So you're going to go down, drop through the platform like this, and then 1, turn for 2, 3, turn for 4, and then jump up for 5, right? And that's a nice easy way of getting that item there without having to worry about this weed here. Here we are going to jump over Eugene like that, and we're going to get this item next, and then we're going to end on this one. So this jump here, you can do this jump from the last 2 pixels of this platform here. So again, it's not an edge jump, but it's fairly close to being one. And then jump back. Jump from around this square here, and that will get you over to that platform here. Now, at this point, we're going to wait. with Willie for a bit, and we're going to wait until Eugene gets to about here. We want Eugene to be just above this weed here, and the reason we do is because when we grab the last item of the room, i.e. when we've grabbed all of the items, Eugene then starts flashing multiple colours and he heads straight down to the bottom to block off the exit of the cavern. And once he's done that, there's absolutely no way to complete the level whatsoever on the life you're currently on. You're going to have to lose a life if he blocks off the exit and then restart the level from scratch. So we're going to wait until he gets just above that weed there, and then when we do, I'm going to do a right jump to get the item and then another to get into the exit. There was quite a lot of waiting in that strategy. So how can we get rid of that waiting? Well, there is a very tough route that you can do around this, which you've got about a 4-frame window in order to successfully achieve. Might be more than that, but 4 frames seems to be about as much grace as you've got here. From the start, the first section is pretty much as per normal. So we're just going to go across here, grab the item and hold position on the conveyor belt until Eugene gets about there. Let go, jump, and jump over Eugene and jump over the toilet. What we're going to do is we're going to try and speed up this section of the route here, and to do that we're actually, instead of doing this as a quintuple turning jump, the moment we grab this item we're actually going to jump from a standing position over this weed here. So we're actually cut out the second jump of the quintuple jump. Now the problem with this strat is you literally only have 1 pixel at the very edge of here to do so. If you move 1 pixel to the left, then your jump is going to hit that weed. But here we go, let's try it out. So we're going to drop down. Another thing to bear in mind is this collapsing platform here, you're going to want Willie to drop down on it in this position here, right? This is in the mid-stride position when he is in pretty much central on the right hand collapsing green platform. If you go any further to the left on this, that means you're possibly going to go outside the frame window that you need in order to get this strat right. Now there we go, I jumped straight from a starting position here. Now let's see how we go. Now it should be level, there we are. So when we got to the end of that platform there, we're about level with Eugene's arm. And that is a good barometer for where you're at in the cycle. If your head is about near the sort of the upper part of his arm, then you're good. If it is below that portion of his arm, or if it's above it, you might be in trouble. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reverse the order in which we get these last 2 items in the level. So rather than get this item next, we're getting this item next. Once we've grabbed this item, Eugene is going to start heading back upwards. Now, if we time this correctly, we're going to run along this platform and grab this item. And when we grab this item, Eugene should be right at the top or very near to the top of his cycle. And in doing that, that should, if we get everything right, give us enough time to then run back and get into the exit just before he covers it. So let's see how we've done on this occasion. So we're going to jump up, grab the item like that straight, and then jump up a couple here, jump across to get this item, and then back, drop down, and there you are. We got in just before Eugene blocked off that exit there. And that saves you 8 seconds in this level. But it does mean you have to get everything from that conveyor belt right. So let's just try it one more time. Because the main thing to bear in mind with this strat is the jump to grab the last item. Because this jump over here, you ideally want this to be on the second last pixel of this platform. If you do manage to do that jump rather than an edge jump across to that platform, then it does mean the frame window that you've got to get into the exit is larger than the frame window you've got if you do it as an edge jump. Like if it's as the second pixel, you'll probably be able to have a 4 frame window jump for that, whereas if it's the last pixel of this jump, then it will probably just be a couple of frames instead. But there we are, you see. Now that jump there, we did that as the second last pixel, and that means we had a 4 frame window, which means we got into the exit in time. Hey gang, so remember at the beginning of this tutorial when I said that some of these strats were liable to become obsolete when I found quicker ones? Well, whilst I've been editing this tutorial together, I actually found a even faster strat for Eugene's Lair. The main thing to note about this new strat is that there is now no waiting required in the level whatsoever as a result of this. So the wait that I showed you at the beginning with the conveyor belt, that no longer applies. However, I am going to keep that in this video because it gives the conveyor belt hold tutorial, which you will need for some of the other levels in the run. So let's start off the level again. So again, the first 2 jumps are the same as always. Jump over the yellow toilet and jump over Eugene. Now, what you want to do at this point is on this green crumbling platform here, you want to get Willy as far to the right as you can on the green section until his foot is about 1 pixel away from the edge before it gets onto the blue. And in that position, you are then going to hold jump for 2 jumps to get over to this item here. Now let's see how that goes. Now you'll notice as I landed on that first jump, I landed in the mid-stride position on that stripe of the platform there. That is the last possible pixel you can land on which this strategy will still work. You can also land 1 pixel before that on the monoleg position, and that actually will make the strategy easier if you can land it there. But we are still able to do this strat in our current position. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to grab this first deck of credit cards, and then we're going to drop down onto the conveyor belt, and rather than holding like I did before, we're going to head straight across to Eugene over here. And the way this should work is that when we get close to Eugene, he will be right near the top of his cycle. So as you can see, Eugene is very near to the top of the room now. So what's going to happen is that when we get to near the end of this conveyor belt here, we want to do the jump across to this platform about 1 pixel before Willy's foot reaches this point here. So just before it sticks out to the left of the platform. That is a crucial position that we need to hit this jump from, because it is the only jump we can do which will actually send Willy underneath Eugene without hitting him and will land on this platform. So let's see if we manage it. And there we go, right? So we got across under it, as you can see, with 1 pixel to spare without hitting Eugene's foot. Now, what you then need to do when you land on this platform is immediately jump left so that you can grab the second batch of credit cards here. And then you're going to want to do a 3rd jump over the nighttime toilet in order to evade them. So let's just do that. So that's the first jump, and then there's a second jump right there. The next section where we grab this credit card here, this is pretty much the same as with the A strat that I showed you before. So you want to turn on the spot on once you grab this card here and jump straight back over here without having to do all of the quintuple jump business. So let's see if we can get that done. So jump and turn immediately and do the triple jump up to the platform. For the last 2 items of the room, we now want to actually go back to getting this item before this one in the corner here. So we're going to run straight along, jump across. Again, we narrowly miss Eugene there, but don't worry too much about that. Jump across to grab the credit cards and then jump back. And as you see, as we jump down to get the last one, we now have absolute oodles of time in order to get this card and jump into the exit. So here we go, drop down, grab the last card. Eugene's starting to come down now, but it doesn't matter because boom. So actually this strat kind of reverses what I did with the previous strat in this level, because it actually means the harder stuff is now at the beginning of the level rather than the end. Basically, once you've got past Eugene coming down and are heading this way, then you're on the home straight effectively. And if you mess up over here, like say dropping down onto this platform or whatever, you've got plenty of time to recover it without any real issues. So let's put this all together. So along we go, jump across. And then this time we hit the mono leg position on that one, which actually makes this slightly easier because you've now got one more pixel to spare here. And there we go, jump across, just under Eugene's feet, sorry, over the nighttime toilet, drop down, grab this, jump straight back across, triple jump up to here, and then jump straight across to the right hand item, where you can do an edge jump there because you don't have to worry about the timing on that anymore. Jump down, drop, grab the last item and get into the exit safely. So I think you'll probably agree that that is a significant improvement upon the previous strat because it is now much less stressful. However, let's just say for the sake of argument that you make a mistake in the bottom left corner, like for that jump over the weed. You can actually then default back to my previous strat for this room. And then let's say by accident we end up jumping on the spot. So what you do here is do 2 vertical jumps as the last part of your quintuple jump here. And the reason you do is, as you can see, the nighttime toilet is now too far to the left for us to make that last jump a right jump, because otherwise we would actually barge into it and die. What you then do if something like that happens is you will then reverse the 2 bottom items again. So we will grab this one first and then jump up, and then what you do is that when you get to the edge of this platform here, just wait a little bit for Eugene to near the top of his cycle, and when you're at the point where he's kind of about like maybe 5 pixels from the top, 5 or 6, then do the jump over, grab the item, and then go back. So we wait, and then you run back and drop into the exit just before Eugene gets you, like that. So that is how you would save that if you needed to do so. But you no longer need to do that as your main strategy. This is a slightly tough level, again, at least to begin with, because it's the first level where you start in a precarious position, meaning that you can very easily die if you're not careful, just from not realizing you're about to do the processing plant, and you're just holding right as you do, thinking, yeah, I'll be fine, and you just fall straight off. Unfortunately, you do. The main thing to bear in mind about processing plant then is that you're starting this level going left. And as you can see in my splits for this run, I've actually put arrows pointing out which way I need to go for each level. With a few exceptions in this run, you're going to start every level by hitting the ground running. You're going to need to start moving as soon as you get into the level to just ensure that you can make the timings that I've explained in this tutorial. The hardest part of this level is these 2 keys here, getting them from the yellow and pink Pac-Men. So I'm going to talk you through a B strat here to which makes this a little bit safer than the A strat, but definitely not anywhere near as fast. From the top, run and jump from the first platforms and then jump over to this platform here. We're going to jump over the yellow Pac-Man and we're going to grab that key as soon as the pink Pac-Man is out of our way. which we're going to need to adjust position for. Then jump there, and then just jump immediately when you come out of that tunnel like that. Do a right jump, and then that'll ensure that you get that key as well. Now, these Pac-Men are going to come this way again, so we're going to jump across here, move to here, and then jump over the Pac-Man there. This conveyor belt here moves to the left, so we drop onto that and jump across to get this key here. And then the next one we're going to grab is here. Now the problem with this strat is that in terms of speed running, you'll see the blue Pac-Man cycle is not particularly conducive. We're having to wait a few seconds. But once we've done that, jump up here, grab this last key, do some turning triple jump to get up these platforms here, and then this last jump here is an edge jump. To get into the exit there, you have to do this from the last pixel on this platform, otherwise you don't get in. So if you're new to this game, you might want to do that as a Q jump and then a edge jump like that. But you're going to want to do that from a running start at some point, so it's good to kind of practice that without the Q jump as much as you can. So that strat wasn't bad, but we can get it quicker. The A strat looks intimidating, but there are 3 positions that you need to memorize in order to make it work. And I'm just going to take you through these positions now in order to ensure that you get them. So the first position is this here. So this mid-stride position here, as you can see, Willie's feet are parallel with the 4th and 5th black boxes along in this platform, and from that position you are going to want to do your jump over the yellow Pac-Man. So the second position you're going to want is this here. So again, it's the mid-stride position. This time you're parallel with these 2 black boxes here in the platform. And these are the 2 black boxes just to the left of that key down there. The reason you want to hit this position is because this is a safe position for you to actually jump right to when the pink Pac-Man looks like they're going to hit you. I'm going to show you this in practice because it's hard to explain in the abstract. Here we go. So, go across these platforms, jump across, jump from position 1, go back, and then jump in position 2. And as you can see, that second jump there, look, I was right behind the pink Pac-Man when I did that. But I'm safe. And that means that I am quite close to him now. And what that means is I'm now close enough to him that I can get this key without actually having to jump over the pink Pac-Man. But in order to do that, I have one more position to hit. And that is the mid-stride position here, just to the right of this wall. Again, his feet are parallel to the first and second black boxes after the wall. And if I do all that as quickly as I can, that means I can vertically jump to grab this key and then run back to the left and jump over the yellow Pac-Man. Let's put all those together then. So, over the platforms, jump 1, move back, jump 2, grab up, jump 3, and then notice we are close to the pink Pac-Man, but not close enough to die. You'll notice there was a bit of pink colour clash on him there. Again, it's about a 4-frame window you've got in order to get that key before the pink Pac-Man ends up chomping you. But that is the quickest way to get all those 2 items collected. And then because of that, you then have a very pleasing bonus for the rest of the level here, which is that when we grab this item, blue Pac-Man is perfectly positioned so we can jump over them whilst grabbing that key there. And then we just grab the last key, triple jump, turning triple jump, and then jump into the exit, like that. Now, in my splits, actually, this is the one room in my current PB that I didn't quite get right. My splits aren't representative of an optimum processing plant. So it means that you would effectively end up shaving quite a few seconds off what I've got there. You'd end up about 42 seconds if you were good. I actually ended up having to fall on the B strap because I didn't make this position, which meant that Willie's head was still under the wall here, so I couldn't actually do the jump. Let's say you do make that mistake. So you go over the platforms and you get the first and second jumps right, like that. But then let's just say, oh, like, well, you can then jump across like that and then just pick it up from the B strap like that. And as you can see, I actually missed that key as I jumped to the right on that occasion, but you can, if you do that, you can then get it on the jump back over the pink Pac-Man and it will still be fine. You won't lose any time for that. But that's the reason I've shown you the B strap for this particular room, because it just means that if you do happen to mess up that 3 jump section, then you've got something to fall back on. As you can see, the main bulk of the vat is this big red section over here, which is where all the keys are. These are all collapsing platforms, so you're going to want to find a route around these that will get you all of the keys without getting hit by the yellow crabs or these bouncing rat kangaroo hybrids. The A strap for this cavern is the one that I'm going to show you first. You want to get 2 very important jumps in quite early on in the level. Let's go from start. So you jump up here and onto this platform here. Now you're going to want to stand in a kind of around about a mid-stride position facing to the left on this square here. And you want to time your jump so that you jump onto this platform just as the pink kangaroo here reaches this stripe here. Like that. And then the second jump you want to do, which I've just started doing here, you want to jump from this stripe here, which is about 3 stripes along from this little knobbly stepping stone here. And you want to do this jump as a turning double jump. So when we land on the platform here, turn and jump straight onto the platform above. Right. Now the reason those 2 jumps are important is because we want to get up to here, up to the crumbling platform just before the blue kangaroo comes back to get us. Okay, so we are in perfect position to do that at present. So here we go. Across the conveyor belt. Quick note about that conveyor belt. That conveyor belt goes left, so do not let go of the direction button while you're on it, because you will get pushed back. Jump up, move a few steps along, and you can fall like that. The route around the vat, around the crumbling platforms, is as follows, right? So we started up here. We're going to grab this key first, then this one second, then this one third, and then this one fourth. So we're going to drop down, grab that key, walk along to the right, grab this key, jump up to grab that one, fall all the way down on this side of the vat, and then you're just a little behind the yellow kangaroo there, so then jump up to grab this last key over the kangaroo, and boom. Once again, I forgot to record a full demonstration of this route whilst streaming, so here's another one from the archive. La da dee dee dee, the vat, la da dee dee dee, the vat, sha dee da dee dum, the vat, la dee da dee dee, the vat, sha dee da ba doo, grab keys, sha dee ba be doo, grab keys, I'm gonna grab all the keys from the vat whilst dodging kangaroos. Meow. Good night, Seattle, we love you. Let's say you make a mistake on this first section of the level. Okay, so let's say you don't quite get onto the platform that you want to. So let's say, here we go, right, so get up on here, and we're not quick enough with the kangaroo, and also we mess up this jump here. We go too early, so we don't actually end up landing on this platform here. So that now means we are not going to be far ahead enough for the blue kangaroo cycle for us to get up here before he gets around here. So Slight bit of rerouting you need to do here. Not that much, so I'll show you as we go. Right, so let's go across. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just wait for the blue kangaroo to turn and head right. So up we go, drop down to grab key number 1, walk across to grab key number 2, jump up to grab key 3, stand as far right as you can facing left in the mid-stride position. Here comes the yellow kangaroo, so we're just going to vertical jump like that to avoid being hit by him, and then the rest of the strat is the same. Just jump up to grab that key and boom. And that is that. Thanks for watching, and please do let me know if you have any feedback or questions in the comments section. Also, if you want to see me put these strats into action, please do check out my Twitch channel, where I'm currently speedrunning the Miner Willy games pretty regularly. In the next video we'll be covering caverns 8, 9 and 10, and I'll explain how to do the lesser known Kong Beast % speedrun. This video is over.